This episode of the Good Living Now podcast is sponsored by our friends at Kuvings. Now, I've had almost every brand of juicer on the market since I started my healing journey in 2015. But the Kuvings Auto 10 has been a complete game changer. It's easy to use and easy to clean. Plus, I'm able to make smoothies as well as sorbets and plant-based milk. So use my code JUICEGUY and save 10%. All right, you know what to do. Get your juice on.
Welcome back to the Juicing for Health tour in Charlotte, North Carolina. Y'all here? Hey, when y'all see this episode, act like I changed clothes, because it's going to be 3 different episodes. I'm going to have the same clothes on. And you know how people on social media, they just find something to talk about. They're like, he wore the same thing. We on tour, y'all. We did all the episodes in one day. So my guest today is an herbalist and a certified health coach who is helping people change their lives and reverse all types of ailments, particularly those that really plague the African American community. And we know those as things like type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. And, you know, for many of us, at least in my family, I've heard so often, that runs in our family, as if there's nothing we can do about it. And so we're going to talk about that. And welcome to the show, Elena, but we're going to call her Elle. She goes by Elle.
Elena Elle. Most people find Elle easier to say.
Welcome, Elle, to the show. How you doing, Elle?
I'm doing well. Can y'all hear me? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm honored to be here. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful to see all of your faces, to see them support you, and you give that right back to them. I think we need it. It's necessary. We need the information. We need the education. I think that's the number one thing that lacks is we just don't know what we don't know.
Right.
So yeah, I'm honored. Thank you.
So tell us what led you on this path to helping people heal their lives.
So the first thing you should know is I'm from New Orleans, okay? So we eat good, okay? So I did not grow up in a lifestyle that was conducive to healing or health or any of the things. As a matter of fact, how I got started juicing wasn't even by way of me wanting to be healthy. It was a necessary thing. It was more of a therapeutic thing because I was going through a really tough time emotionally. And we don't realize how much our emotions impact our health, but that's a story for another day. But what started me on the path of holistic healing and doing the study and getting certified was I have a daughter. She's 16. She'll be 17 in 13 days. 17. She almost 17.
See, all this juice got folks aging in the reverse because she don't look like 26. She got a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah. So what happened was a few years back, I think she was maybe 11 or 12 at the time, she had a skin rash. It was on her chest, on her belly, on her back, and I was like, God, we couldn't figure out what it was. So I brought it to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist wanted to prescribe to her 30 days of antibiotics. And I was like, that don't sit right with me. Like, I don't, and as women, you know what antibiotics can do to you after taking it for so long. It can cause yeast infections and all sorts of things. She's just starting middle school. We're not doing it. So I went to a holistic doctor, and she changed her diet. She gave us some supplements and incorporated just more water, simple things. And I kid you not, y'all, within 60, 90 days, her skin was clear. I'm talking about rash gone. And I was like, hold up. You mean to tell me this whole time? I had one person saying, oh, take this 30 days worth of antibiotics. And then I had a holistic doctor saying, oh no, we'll just do some dietary changes, take these supplements, and it'll be fine. Just give it some time. And one thing we don't like to do is wait. We live in a society where everything is microwavable. We want it to happen right now. We have a headache, we're taking some Excedrin, some Tylenol, because we want it gone now. But holistically or naturally, things take a little bit longer. You think about how long you've been doing things the way you're doing them. It takes just as long sometimes, not all things, but it can take a while So you have to practice patience, and we don't like practicing patience. So anyway, that's what started me on the path. So when I realized that, and I saw because of the dietary changes and the supplements, I was like, I'm throwing everything out. We starting from scratch, you know. We didn't do that, but kind of, you know. So I went down this rabbit hole. I love to read. I love to learn. So I went down the rabbit hole, the path of like holistic medicine and herbalism and fruits and veggies and all the things. And so that's what got me started.
Wow. So when we talk about things like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes, folks who have those diagnoses right now and maybe on medication, what kind of things should they be doing?
So what's so funny is that I have an aunt, grandmother, mother, everybody that was on, that has been on high blood pressure medication. And what we don't realize, y'all, simple things. I heard a lady ask, I don't know if she's still in the room, but I can't go to Mexico. What can I do? Eat some vegetables. Eat some fruit. Do you know we're supposed to eat? And I say this all the time, and people don't even realize something as simple as it's recommended to eat 4 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Some recommend 7, 8, and 10 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. We are not eating that. We lucky if we get 1 serving of fruits and vegetables in each day, which led me to juicing, because juicing is a way to kind of get all of those servings into like compact it and make it more manageable, because we're doing stuff, we got kids, we got work, we have things, so it's harder when you have to make a decision. But anyway, so eating your fruits and vegetables, that's really important. And organic is not always organic, depending on where you go and who you ask, but start somewhere. There are 3 things that are killing us: stress, sugar, and stagnation, not doing anything. And I know it can be very overwhelming. I've watched y'all take notes. I've been sitting in the back and I see people writing, I see people on their phones, and it's overwhelming. What I want to implore you today to just take a step. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to do something. And when you take one step, God gonna take another one for you. And then you take one and He gonna take another one for you. Everything leads to another thing. Small steps lead to big impact. So try not to get overwhelmed. Do one thing at a time. Your question.
So,
Sorry.
So a lot of people struggle with type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. Like,
Yes.
what are some practical things
Yes.
they should be doing?
Yeah, so stress, y'all, we gotta bring it down. Like, we have to. I talk a lot about mindfulness, so that could look like meditation for some of you. That could look like prayer for some of you. That could look like taking a walk around your block. So reducing stress is one thing. Incorporating things like, my sis back there mentioned grapefruit earlier. Grapefruit is really great for managing a lot of things, including high blood pressure. But get this, you have to be careful. And I do not, this is for educational purposes only. I am not your doctor, okay? But you have to be careful and do things under the guidance of somebody. If you don't know where to start, whether that's an herbalist or a health coach or your doctor or somebody that you trust, or a naturopathic doctor, because grapefruit, while it is wonderful, it can, if you are taking blood pressure medication, can interact with the grapefruit, because fruits and vegetables are medicine, and can drop your blood pressure drastically, which can cause like headaches and all the things. And I know this specifically because my aunt, she was juicing grapefruit, eating grapefruit, and also taking her blood pressure medicine, and it happened. Her blood pressure dropped drastically into rates that you don't want it to go. So she went to the doctor, and instead of them saying, oh, okay, because grapefruit does lower your blood pressure, they said, don't eat grapefruit. Stay on your medicine and stop drinking or eating grapefruit. So saying that to say it is medicine, so do it under the direction of somebody that you trust and know. But also incorporating things like pomegranate. Pomegranate is also good for high blood pressure. Watermelon is also good. It's 92% water. If you juice a watermelon right here today, leave it on the table, guess what it's going to do? Separate, and you're going to have this much. It's going to look the little red pulp at the top, and then the rest of it will be water. So that lets you know that it's hydrating. Type 2 diabetes, that's another tricky one. That is lifestyle changes. You have to do the work for that one. And also cinnamon. You add a little cinnamon to your stuff. Cinnamon is really good for insulin resistance and things like that. So there are little things that you can incorporate, but you got to eat better. It's our food, y'all. We got to do better.
Talk about some of like the herbs and supplements and vitamins that we should be taking. Like a lot of African Americans are vitamin D deficient. And when you're vitamin D deficient, it impacts your body's ability to absorb even healthy things. So you might be eating very healthy, but if you're vitamin D deficient, your body isn't absorbing. Talk a little bit about nutrition.
So we got to get outside too, right? Because that's vitamin D, the sun. Get outside, start walking. The weather is really nice, so that helps your body to absorb that. Also, low iron is something that as women, a lot of Black women deal with anemia. Vitamin C. Vitamin C helps your body to absorb the nutrients that you put in it. So even if you're eating like, oh, Elle, I'm eating my leafy greens, I'm eating my beets, I don't know why my iron levels are still low. It's because your body is having a hard time absorbing it. So you have to do things to kind of help it get it into your body. So vitamin C is really good for absorption of the vitamins and nutrients that you put into it. So we have vitamin C, we have vitamin D, getting outside, getting some sun. If you have to take a supplement, you can do that too. Vitamin D supplements are good for you. I even had to do it at one point in my journey because vitamin D levels were low. And you'd be surprised, vitamin D will have if you don't have enough, have your hair falling out. I know because mine fell out. Okay, so you have to be mindful of those type of things. It can cause headaches. It can do damage to your skin. Not damage, but cause things like, we have eczema and all these things. So vitamin D is very important. We don't get outside enough. And because our skin is melanated, right, it takes a little bit more for us to get that vitamin D in.
So what should somebody do who's just starting out? They may have just gotten a diagnosis of some kind of disease, whether it's cancer, heart. What are some practical things that people can just start doing who may be eating the standard American diet? What are some very practical things that people can start doing today to get healthier?
That's so good. So if you have been diagnosed with something, that's a completely different story. And that is, again, something that I want you to seek a trusted somebody, professional, herbalist, health coach, whatever of your choice. But right now, today, if you're just trying to get much healthier and you're dealing with some minor ailments, reducing sugar. Y'all, sugar is killing us. Hardcore killing us. So we got to take the sugar down. We have to stop frying our foods and all of these vegetable oils, and that's not good for us either. So practical things like that. And I know we like
Can you talk a little bit about the oils? Because I don't think that we talk enough about how harmful those oils are.
Y'all, there's a documentary. I don't know if it's a documentary or just show or episode I saw on Netflix, but it's really good about where this oil is coming from and how it got to the point where literally it was used for like mechanics, y'all. And they deduced it so that we could cook with it. Like that's not what we need to be using to cook with. So reducing fried foods, reducing the sugar, also fasting. Doing a cleanse. We can do that every quarter at least. You should be doing. Somebody asked me yesterday, Elle, what's the difference between drinking a smoothie and doing a juice? I get that question very often. Smoothies are great. There's nothing wrong with them. If you want a quick way to get some nutrients and vitamins, and some people will use it to supplement a meal, that's perfectly fine. It has the fiber in it. juicing and juice cleansing is to give your digestive system a break so that it can do what it's designed to do, which is heal itself. Your body already knows what to do. So if we're not, most times when we're eating food constantly, our digestive system doesn't have a chance to rest. And in order for it to start working on repairing cells, it has to not be working on digesting food. So you have to give your body a chance to kind of reset, right? And so when you juice, essentially that's what you give your body a chance to do. It's like, oh, I ain't got fried chicken to work. Okay, we can do some things. Or I don't have, pie or cakes or whatever to work through. Okay, now I can start working on repairing myself and repairing myself. So that's the benefit, I think, of doing a fast or a cleanse, whether you do it for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, if you can manage that. I think that that's really important, to just give your bodies a chance to, those cells to regenerate. So cutting back on the sugar, cutting back on the vegetable oils, and frying foods, and juice cleansing or fasting.
Somebody was asking me about eczema. What should somebody do who is experiencing eczema?
Yeah, I heard that. There was somebody that asked that question in the back. Yeah, I was telling him blueberries. Blueberries are wonderful for eczema. Also, leafy greens, dark leafy greens, like you could do a kale or collard. Collards are also good. I heard fibroids in the back. There's some research that talks about collard greens being a really good, I cannot claim that they reduce or get rid of fibroids. I cannot say that. But I would do some research on your collard greens for things like fibroids. I only mention that because I know that's something that a lot of Black women suffer with and through. So yes, so eczema, I would say.
And what about parents who have young kids? What should we be giving our kids? Because parents are real busy, and it's easy just to give them a Hot Pocket or the little Lunchables that's full of toxins. What should we be sending our kids to school with?
Ooh, that's tough. Because see, kids have outside influences. When their friends doing stuff, it's hard. So as young as you can start them, the younger you can start them, the better. Train them up, and then they'll look at some stuff and be like, I don't want that, or they might stray a little bit and come back. But bring them in the kitchen with you. I think that's one of the easier ways to help them adopt the lifestyle. If they can come in the kitchen and juice with you, they're more likely to enjoy it. Your kitchen is your medicine cabinet, it's your hospital, it's your pharmacy rather. So you want to incorporate them, bring them in, teach them a recipe, teach them how to juice, teach them how to make a smoothie. And then fresh fruit, that's essentially, that has sugar. Kids like sweet things. So I would send my kids to school with fruit. I pack their lunch every day. Y'all are not eating what they serve at all, because it's not the best for you. But I try to keep it simple. I try to cook enough for the next day. I buy a thermos for them, and they will pack their lunch in their thermos daily. We'll cut up some fresh fruits. They eat breakfast before they leave the house, and I know it takes a lot. It's not going to be easy. There's no easy, quick, fast way to do it. You just have to decide that this is what I want to do for my children. This is what is necessary for them to live a better, healthier life. And I think once you decide, because we spend so much time, and we can get overwhelmed, but we spend so much time in the gray area, not deciding that, oh yeah, I'm going to take charge of my health, that we do nothing. And then that's not good either. So I'd rather you say, okay, on Tuesdays, I'm a cook, and let the kids bring their lunch to school on Wednesday. Start with 1 day a week. And then you say, oh, you know what, I could cook 2 or 3 days. And then, you'll just gradually, but start somewhere. Don't get overwhelmed by it being, because it is a lot. And all the times this space doesn't feel welcoming, I've noticed. A lot of times it is presented as if you have to do all the things, or you ain't doing nothing. Well, if you can't drink your coconut water and take your black seed oil and cook a vegan meal and go walking. And girl, just do one. Just do one of the things, and then you'll notice some changes in your body. Like, oh wait, I see a little ab. Okay, now I might decide I want to do something else. Well, if watermelon juice works, let me see what this kale and this cucumber is about. And you'll feel more encouraged and inclined to like do more things. So start somewhere. Yeah.
Start somewhere. Yeah. Any questions for Coach Elle? Great. We'll get.
Okay. We have one right here, and then I come to you, Reese. Okay.
Just a brief question. I know you spoke earlier about deficiency,
Yes.
iron especially.
Yes.
How would someone know if an iron deficiency has something to do with a parasite issue, especially with trying to leave the standard American diet and whole produce? How do you know
Yeah.
if that's
Honey, we all got parasites. Because we can't help it. It's because of the food, the American diet. You are bound to have. So I would say, under someone's guidance, do a parasite cleanse and see how you feel. But we all have them. It is there. It is present. Even if you think you don't, you do. And it's inevitable, which brings me back to juice cleansing. Like, this is why this kind of thing is important, is because, again, we get a chance to like see what's there. Let's see what's going on. Things will come out of places. So things could be correlated, but like Shaka said earlier, like he couldn't say which one thing was related to another thing. You never know, and everybody's body's different. And depending on what medicines you're taking or what you're going through, the emotions that you're holding, the stress you're dealing with, like your body could be responding to different things differently. So I would say get under somebody that you know and trust, and also do the cleanse, parasite cleanse regardless, because we all have it. Go ahead. Either one. I don't know. Yeah, I got divorced. So that's part of it, I think, No, I'm kidding. Peace. Yeah, I prioritize my peace in a major way. After knowing what it feels like not to be peaceful, not to have peace in your own home and in your own life, that is a major thing, major priority to me. Yeah. So peace, and drinking my juice, and I'm gonna get one from you later. Okay. Yeah. Good.
My question, you mentioned it, and Shaka and everyone mentioned it before about stress and reducing sugar.
Yes.
So that's usually a journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we know that they always say that the processed sugar is like the worst kind of sugar, and all of that. So, what types of natural, right, or better for you sweeteners can we use as we go along this journey to where we can get to zero and be able to, go very low?
I use agave all the time. I love agave. Dates. Oh, I love dates. Yeah, I put dates in my smoothies all the time. Also, your fruit got sugar in it. There's a difference between processed refined sugar and the sugar that is in a fruit or a vegetable, right? There's sugar in vegetables too. So I think just knowing the difference, and also just we got to have some discipline too. Some things you're just going to have to turn away from. It's not going to taste, agave is not going to give you wood. Exactly. And also, y'all, sugar, the impact that sugar has on your brain is the same kind of impact that cocaine has on your brain. So it's addictive. So we got to wean ourselves off of that. It literally gives the same response in the brain as cocaine. Legit, literally the same thing. So we just got to stop. But to your point about alternatives, I use agave. I love dates. There's also date syrup that you can you can try to use. Yeah. Oh,
Question. Yeah, you kept on talking about finding somebody or doing something under.
guidance.
Yes.
Mhm.
My question is, don't you think it's important? It's not a question. Don't you think it's important for telling us or sharing with us who you think are good doctors to go to, or who are good holistic people that
Yeah.
you can recommend? Don't you think it is important? That is one. The second one is about the black seed. This is nice, that I would really recommend other people. But where do we get the vitamin D? You know, in the shelf, there are all these different types of black seed oil or vitamin D, or so. Which one do we know that this is good?
Yeah.
How would you guide us or direct us so that we can also direct other people
Yeah.
down there in the continent?
Of course. So as far as naturopathic doctors, I'm only here in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I can only speak to this area.
It's okay.
But I would say you have to do your due diligence and read. Everything is not going to be for everybody. So the doctor that I go to and love may not be the right fit for you or for someone else. So I would say do your research, read up on them, see if they have client testimonials, call and do a consultation. Naturopathic doctors is a thing. People don't even know that's a real thing. So look up naturopathic doctors in your area. Herbalist, I love Musa Moon. If you live here in Charlotte, North Carolina, Bria, her name is Bria. She's the owner of Musa, M-U-S-A Moon. She has a herbalist a shop here where you can get hibiscus that is not dust like you find in a Lipton packet. You could find, she has all the things. She has nettle leaf. Any herb that you can think of, she probably has it, and she's super knowledgeable about that. But again, I don't know all areas. I can only recommend from what I have or know here. Also, you said, how do we know which supplements or do which things? So you got to read your labels. See, are the capsules vegan? Are the capsules made with gelatin? Like, those things are important. Just, you have to do your due diligence too and read those labels.
And so, because we're running a little over, Coach Elle is going to be here. So if you have questions, she'll be able to answer them. But tell people how they can find you on social media.
I'm at Get Well with Elle everywhere. TikTok, I ain't dancing, but I'm on there. Giving tips and doing juice recipes and all the things. So it's Get Well, W-E-L-L, with Elle is spelled E-L-L-E. And that's it.
Give it up for Coach Elle.